Right now in South Africa, a protest has taken a frightening turn, and people are moving on rooftops just to stay safe.
These are the videos from Bukombo City here in the Eastern Cape. People are really livid. They're saying that they want action taken by government.
And the police are moving in with crowd control measures. This is because what started as just a normal demonstration against the coronation of a Nigerian Igbo king in South Africa is now raising serious concerns about safety, stability, and unity.
Well, that is typically undermining the sovereignty of South Africa, undermining the kingdom of Amachakhabe.
But what exactly happened, and why is this situation escalating so quickly? In this video, I break it all down to you, and all that you gotta do is to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. Now let's get into it.
Guys, if you've enjoyed this video so far, please do me a huge favor and hit the like button and subscribe. These videos take quite a long time to make, so if you could help me out, I'll love you forever. Thank you all for your support. Now let's get back to this crazy story.
Regarding freedoms for foreign nationals. You see people from KwaZulu-Natal. These are Amazulu, Amapinga. They are here. They're saying this is not an Eastern Cape thing. This is a South African thing, a South African problem. Everyone in South Africa is supposed to be a part of this, demonstration. Everyone is supposed to, help in amplifying the voice of South African people. Just now we're speaking to Jacinta. She's saying that it's not only limited to the ceremonies that foreign nationals are having in South Africa, but also what actions or what do foreign nationals do to the people of South Africa? What do they do to women in South Africa? What are their contributions in some of the challenges that are faced by people of South Africa? These are live visuals from Bukombo City in the Eastern Cape, and people want everyone to be a part of this, now calling on people to come out of their homes and be a part of this march. We are now, I'm going to call in Tata William. I'm from the Tekwi Kam here in the Eastern Cape. Tata, thank you very much for your time. This has got something to do with African spirituality, and a lot of people have been giving different views about that. What are some of your concerns?
Our concerns is we have a problem with our drugs here in East London and across the whole of South Africa.
Now, if you're watching a channel, I'm sure you've already watched some parts of my videos. I've done video 1, video 2, video 3 about how this situation started with a Nigerian community in East London in South Africa that decided to coronate or install a new chief, Indibo, who will be the chief of their area. But it went viral, and things have taken a different turn from authorities who have spoken, and now March on March decided to demonstrate. They've already done the first part of the demonstration, and they decided to do a part 2. And now reports coming out of East London in South Africa's Eastern Cape province indicate that tensions have escalated following a protest linked to the controversies surrounding the Nigerian community figure.
What does being coronating yourself in another country like South Africa, what does him coronating himself here mean when you're looking at government policy and traditional leadership?
Well, that is typically undermining the sovereignty of South Africa, undermining the kingdom of Amachakhabe. It's a direct assault and contravention of every piece and fabric of our legislation. It's illegal. It's a coronation that is non-existent, except that it risks to provoke the instability of the city of East London, as well as bad blood between the bona fide Amachakhabe community and of course the Nigerian nationals. We really want to call upon all those who are involved to desist from continuing such acts of undesirable conduct. We are aware, of course, that those people who have identified themselves as Igbo community have already extended the intention to visit His Majesty King Sandile for purposes of conveying their apology for what has happened. However, at the level of government, we have a scheduled meeting on the 8th of April.
So the people during that demonstration this time decided to pay attention to where they think foreigners and Nigerians live. And that was when a misunderstanding came and one South Africa apparently was hurt during the process. And that's when the Zulus in South Africa decided to take things into their own hands.
Yo, hi, LCD.
And now the situation has evolved into a more complex and tense situation on the ground. And now things are getting very uncomfortable for foreigners, especially Nigerians in Eastern Cape. And so eyewitness videos circulating online suggest that some residents have now moved onto rooftops and elevated areas seeking safety. Certain streets have also experienced disruptions and damaged property. As it stands now, they went to where these foreigners live and they damaged a number of properties, including their cars, their vans that they use for delivery and some of them work with.
are the videos from Bukombo City here in the Eastern Cape. People are really livid. They're saying that they want action taken by government regarding freedoms for foreign nationals. You see people from KwaZulu-Natal. These are Amazulu, Amapinga. They are here. They're saying this is not an Eastern Cape thing. This is a South African thing, a South African problem. Everyone in South Africa is supposed to be a part of this, demonstration. Everyone is supposed to, help in amplifying the voice of South African people. Just now we're speaking to Jacinta. She's saying that it's not only limited to the ceremonies that foreign nationals are having in South Africa, but also what actions or what do foreign nationals do to the people of South Africa? What do they do to women in South Africa? What are their contributions in some of the challenges that are faced by people?
As a result, movement in part of the area has slowed down as people are trying to avoid confrontation. And at this stage, not all details are fully confirmed, but one thing is clear, that the atmosphere has changed from protest to uncertainty. And in response, the South African Police Service has deployed officers to affected areas, and crowd management measures are being used. Officers are working to restore calm and prevent escalation, whilst residents are being encouraged to remain indoors to avoid high-risk areas. And the goal right now is simple: to stabilize the situation and protect lives.
Of South Africa. These are live visuals from Bukombo City in the Eastern Cape, and people want everyone to be a part of this, now calling on people to come out of their homes and be a part of this march. We are now, I'm going to call in Tata William from the Tekwi Kam here in the Eastern Cape. Tata, thank you very much for your time. This has got something to do with African spirituality, and a lot of people have been giving different views about that. What are some of your concerns?
Our concerns are we have a problem with our drugs here in East London and across the whole of South Africa. It's very pity that our ANC is not here, our glorious movement ANC is not here to join us. I don't know what's happening with them. We needed them here. We are here to fight against drugs that is destroying our youth, our innocent children. As now our youth turn to drugs because there's no they have the education, the degrees, but there's no jobs for them. That's why some of them turn to drugs. We as the Kekwe and the Koi, we are here to assist our kingdoms, our Xhosa kingdom. Landlu yasekunene kaGagabe, nendlu enkulu kaXhosa, Oscaw. Yeah, enkosi ke that.
Yeah. Nifuna kwenza ngintoni? What do you want to happen from here on?
We need changes. We need to kick them out, all the illegal aliens. They must go back to where they come from. And the king must also he should have been coronated there in Nigeria, because he is from the Igbo clan.
And about people who are free to, practice their religious ceremonies here in the country. What do you say about that?
Yeah, they are free to practice their religious cultures, because nathi kaloku i-culture zethu zamaceko ibiyamkele amaXhosa nomzi kaMnguni bebeyamkela kakhulu isiko yakwaXhosa. Yeah, plus isiko yamaXhosa nayo ikhona apha kumzi wabathwa. Yeah, we need to practice our spiritual. Yeah, because we are not religious people, we are spiritual. Religious people, religion were taken from the spiritual people from Africa. Our people came from Kemet, from Kush, from Nubia. They came from those people, from those lands. Yeah, and then they came down to Africa, to the southern hemisphere, where they met the Khoi and the Twa people. Then the intermarriage and spirituality was shared. So here in Emonti, Kukompo, we need to practice vigorously our spirituality.
You're seeing visuals now of some of the marchers standing outside an eatery and lounge. What they're doing is they're trying to get as many people to come through and be a part of this march. We don't know, though, if that is their main intention. If this becomes something else or if it won't is dependent on them and also the police force that is present here right now. We do see quite a lot of police presence. There seems to be a common understanding understanding, though, between the police as well as the marchers. Marchers are, reprimanding themselves in the process. The police are just, it seems as though there has been a conversation about how to behave throughout this march, because no harm has been caused since the beginning of the march, which started, I think, about 4 kilometers away from where we are right now.
And right now, the acting High Commissioner has distanced himself from the coronation, calling it isolated incident.
I want to state that Nigeria and South Africa have come a long way, and we have a very, very excellent and cordial relationships. So this has actually manifested in different areas: economic, social, and as well as political cooperation as well. And you could see that 2 years ago, my president was here, where himself and His Excellency President Ramaphosa were, joined together in finding a way to strengthen our bilateral relations. And this has also gone a long way in enhancing the current level of bilateral relations that we built for ourselves. So I want, from that premise, I want you to know that Nigeria and South Africa, really have very deep ties. So when it comes to an isolated case like this, we regarded it, we feel it's not called for, and it's not something that is in tradition or in tandem with the cultural beliefs and cultural understanding of Nigeria. I must first say straight that there are rooms for different groups to associate, to fraternize, and to also animate their cultural reality. But of course, that does not presupposes crowning a king. And I want to state categorically that he is not a king, and he doesn't. I don't think he purports to represent that, and he could not even exercise any authority, of kingship anyway. I think what happened was just a kind of social gathering carried too far in terms of having some socio-cultural group coming together to celebrate their culture, not to the extent of crowning anybody as a king. And I want to state, as I've said before, unequivocally, that he's not a king. He cannot. We have implicit respect for the traditional authority in Eastern Cape, and we recognize the sanctity and the institution of kingship in Eastern Cape. So he is just an individual. He is not, shouldn't be regarded. There are procedures, well laid down procedures for having a king, and you cannot come to any society to want to, purport yourself as a king or to. So I want the public to disregard that in its entirety. That is not a king. Is not, and he will not actually attempt to appear as one.
But the tension is so thick. Protesters are demanding a total shutdown until their concerns about undocumented migration and illegal coronations are addressed. Now, this situation is not happening in isolation. In fact, it reflects a deeper ongoing challenges, economic pressure on urban communities, and concerns about business competition and opportunity, with tensions linked to immigration and local identity. And the broader question is how African nations can coexist peacefully in times of strain. Now, movements like this are very critical because of how leaders, communities, and individuals respond now will shape what happens next. Will things calm down, or will tensions continue to rise? What is your clear objective of the situation? If you are a foreigner and you are seeing what is happening, what do you think will happen? And if you are South African, what do you think will happen? Leave your comment in the comment section. It's a wrap for today.